first off today, Lana Bentley, the Executive Director of the Women's Centre in Calgary. She is a family therapist, worked in the child and adolescent mental health portfolio of AHS. Is it even called AHS anymore? I don't know. We have a corridor, we have I don't even know. Her focus has included family violence, women's economic empowerment, and housing. And that's really important because you're not going to have good health if you are fighting these other battles at the same time. An award-winning instructor, she teaches part-time at MRU. She's a strong believer in investing in your community and sits on several boards, including Youth Central Calgary, the College of Opticians, and the Black Heritage Committee at Heritage Park. You can also find her on the ski hill and shopping for sneakers. Please welcome Lana Bentley to the stage.
Thank you for that introduction, and happy International Women's Day, everyone. Yay. So my birthday is actually next week, and if we're just... No, I don't want anything. It's okay, but I just wanted to say this is what pushing 50 looks like, so we're all owning our ages, right? So Oki Tansi, hello, my name is Lana, and I'm the Executive Director at the Women's Centre of Calgary. To begin, I really want to thank the organizers of today's event for including us. We are considered a small agency, mostly because of our budget, but we see a lot of women, and opportunities like today have a measurable impact on our ability to engage the broader community. So thank you so much for including us, Dr. Brennan. You always think of us, and we really appreciate that. So on behalf of the team at the Women's Centre, happy International Women's Day, happy Social Work Month. There's certainly lots to celebrate in March. In preparation for today's event, I reflected on the theme for this year's International Women's Day. Am I clicking this? I used to laugh at my mom when she didn't know how to use... oh, it's this green button. Oh, my Lord. Okay. And Barb's great. I should be so lucky. So in framing my remarks for today, I want to anchor them in the theme of Give to Gain, and just a small shout out to the rich legacy of women's history in Canada. So has anybody here ever heard of Margaret Mitchell? Yeah, so Margaret Mitchell was born in 1925, and she was an activist, and she was a member of the family, so she was a social worker by profession. In 1979, she was elected to the House of Commons, and she represented her riding of Vancouver East until 1993, so she was quite a successful politician. Ms. Mitchell was one of the first politicians to talk about violence against women in the House of Commons. And in 1982, she famously rose in the House to question what the government was going to do about gender-based violence. And famously, two of her male colleagues laughed at her, and one of them was caught on the mic saying, "I don't beat my wife, do you?" So Margaret Mitchell, being pleasantly persistent, responded with, "This is no laughing matter." Ms. Mitchell's career was characterized by speaking about hard things and speaking about important things. She spoke about the Chinese head tax, immigration, women's rights, and housing. She gave of herself so that others could gain. She gave her time, her energy, and her career for the benefit of Canadian women and girls. So interestingly enough, folks, she actually passed away in 2017 on March 8th, International Women's Day. So I just want to say thank you to Margaret Mitchell for what you gave, and thank you to all of the speakers who are here today, whose generosity and wisdom will no doubt continue to accelerate important conversations about women and girls being able to thrive in our community. Because all of you rise today, others will thrive tomorrow. So for those unfamiliar with the Women's Centre of Calgary, we are a fairly unique organization. We are one of only 3 drop-in community resource centres for women, I believe in southern Alberta, and we have the broadest mandate, but certainly we're one of a kind in the city. We offer a safe place for women and girls to get assistance, connect with others, and work for change. Our mission is to be every woman's place for support, connections, and community. Our vision is communities empowering women and women empowering communities. I will add that a unique feature of the Women's Centre is that we are 100% for women by women. So that's not a dig at anybody else, but it really does make a difference that everybody from our board of directors to our volunteer base, for the most part, are primarily women. Now, that doesn't mean we don't welcome the support of male allies. And when one asked, can I donate the other day, I said yes, and tell your friends. So I think it really makes a difference that our team and our volunteer base reflects the story of Calgary, which is rich with diversity. And we're a place where women of all diverse backgrounds can come to work, contribute, and build a better city. So, in terms of what we do at the Women's Centre of Calgary, let me just get my sheets here in order. The centre meets women where they are at, offering a variety of programs offered in those 3 pillars that I noted earlier, that being assistance, support, and working for change. Our drop-in resource centre is a storefront, and perhaps on your way to Luke's in Bridgeland, you've driven past us before. So our drop-in resource centre offers peer support where women can come at any time to receive information, referrals, and support, crisis navigation assistance. Women experiencing crisis can receive real-time problem solving to manage homelessness, domestic violence, and family breakdown concerns, workshops. And our workshops are very vast in what they offer. So some of it can be a bike repair workshop for girls, which enables them to literally go wherever they want to, all the way to employment readiness, to a number of different industry-specific workshops, so legal and tax clinics. And hopefully in the coming months, we'll be able to offer some women's healthcare workshops as well. And then finally, there's our basic needs programming. Once a week, we have something called Shop Day, and we have about 75 to 100 women who will come to the centre to obtain up to 5 personal care items of their choosing. I think that although I'm glad that my staff are able to provide that service, I certainly wish we didn't have to. It is troubling to think of the fact that folks are having to come for us for diapers, shampoo, and tampons and pads. Nobody should ever have to make the decision of what am I going to sacrifice this month so that I can afford those basic items that are required for dignity and health and basic hygiene. So in terms of that crisis navigation and support piece as well, I will highlight that that's a recent addition to our organization. We had that position introduced in March of 2025, and within 10 months of activity, that one employee offered over 830 crisis support sessions. And concerningly, nearly 40% of those were related to domestic violence. In some instances, women came directly from their home to the centre because they knew they could get drop-in support. So moving away from the drop-in real-time support, we also have programming that is multi-week. So we offer a girls program for girls and gender diverse youth in grades 4 to 12. We offer legal and tax clinics. And we're really excited to be engaging in more of those policy and advocacy initiatives as well. In April, we are going to be releasing the findings from our project looking at women's homelessness called the Unaddressed Project. So our organization is staffed by only 28 paid employees and a volunteer base of 400. So in terms of what the last year has looked like at the Women's Centre of Calgary, in 2025, we did see just over 11,700 women. We had about 52,000 contacts and offered 274 workshops. It goes without saying all of our services are free of charge. I wouldn't take anybody's money to access programming even if they tried. And so in terms of who comes to the centre, we serve a very diverse group. About 48% are newcomers and immigrants. 12% identify as Indigenous, about 3% identified as living with a disability, and 7% identified as coming from gender diverse communities. The majority of the people that we see, including those who are employed, live on low income. So it's been an interesting escalation in numbers, because like I said, in 2024, we saw about 6,000 women. And so in terms of that jump up in utilization, I would say that we are a microcosm for a lot of the issues that we're seeing at the bigger level. So certainly poverty and pressure are being felt by women who come to the centre as well. And just to confirm, the staff have given me feedback. Have you thought of like a tablet or something? And I'm like, I don't trust the technology. It's going to crash. I don't know what their Wi-Fi is. I don't know if that's secure. So this is really what pushing 50 looks like. So though the Women's Centre of Calgary is not a medical organization, we do pride ourselves on playing an important role for the women who walk through our doors as it relates to their overall wellness. We help to build trust, a sense of safety, and a sense of belonging, key ingredients that empower women to access healthcare down the road. Many of the women who come to the centre do initially present for assistance with basic needs, English classes, or skill-building workshops. However, through those informal and trust-building conversations, they're able to leave with information about their wellness and resources, or a heightened comfort to engage with more structured, formal systems. Having worked at Alberta Health Services, and when I started there, it was actually the Calgary Health Region, for those of you who remember. I've had a lot of lanyards throughout my career, but having been a part of that system, and at the time, I think, sadly, the only other Black people in the building were the cleaning staff, I can certainly relate to the difference that it makes when you have healthcare practitioners who look like you, sound like you, and understand the unique realities that you're facing. So this is about far more than checking a box. It's about helping people get the support that they deserve, for lack of a better term. So we serve as a bridge between women and formal systems, including the healthcare system. And over the years, we have learned a great many things that facilitate the women who come to the centre obtaining that confidence to access the healthcare system. We do serve a lot of newcomers, and we have observed that for some newcomers, I say some because this isn't a monolith, there is of course diversity within diversity, newcomers may however be delayed in accessing medical care during the settlement process for no other reason than they're not sure if they're allowed to go see a doctor. So this lack of understanding about what newcomers can access contributes to delays. There's also language and cultural mismatches that create confusion around certain medical issues, and I would say many of the topics that are being discussed here are by no means taboo, but they can certainly feel that way in certain communities unless you have people who can endorse, here's some factual information. There's also, at times, if we don't have folks from some of these communities endorsing the healthcare system to say it's okay to go, that lack of a trusted voice can allow for folks to have misinformation or misgivings about attending to their health. And finally, there's trauma. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of women, far too many women and girls who've experienced traumatic injury, and that can make them reluctant to engage in high-touch appointments or discussions of an intimate nature. So in keeping with our mandate to work for change, we as an organization certainly advocate for gender-based analysis as it relates to policy and culturally adapted services to ensure that all women and girls are able to get their needs met as it relates to healthcare. So on behalf of the Women's Centre of Calgary, once again, I really want to thank you for including us today. Do feel free to keep in touch when you're on your way to Luke's to get their ice cream of the month. And I hope that you will think of the Women's Centre of Calgary tomorrow on International Women's Day and the 12,000 people who trusted us to become a part of their journey. We're always building community, and I hope that now you'll become a part of our community and our journey as well. Thank you, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Lana. Fantastic.